Today we'll go over and under, above and below for art inspiration. Hi, I'm Julie Faithan Balzer, your host on Make It Artsy. Today, Debbie Simon crafts artistic drawer pulls. Hey, Debbie.
Hi there, how are you?
So you brought so many cute little drawer pulls with you. I mean, some of them are actually quite big and have sort of more character-y feel. Yeah. And then some of them are very small and delicate. And you said that this is easy as pie and anybody can do it.
Like that, yeah.
So how do we get started?
Just like making cookies. Well, to get started, we are working today with 2-part epoxy clay. And basically there is a hardener and a...
and I can see the hardener's gray.
And then a color. So in this project, we're gonna work a lot with the different colors, and we have a variety of colors to work from here. We also have a color chart that tells us exactly what we need to do if we want to make a purple or...
So just so I understand, though, clay that looks white, that's basically colorless. It's not actually...
It's like a white. It's like mixing white paint.
Yeah.
So in this case, I mixed white with the pink, and this is what I got. So I'm like, that's a great color, but you know what? I want to add a little blue to it, make it a little more purple. So again, I'm going to mix the color. And one thing to keep in mind, you always want to mix your colors first. Then you'll go and add your hardener once you're happy with the color. So we just want
Because if you don't, I assume that means it gets hard much faster.
Right, and it's harder to make sure you have the ratios right if you're like putting a pinch of this color in and a pinch of hardener. So just make your color, and the nice thing is too, if I'm going to use this color a lot, I can make a bunch of it, but let's say I don't have time to do all the projects, I can put it to the side. I can add the hardener to the ones I want and put the rest to the side. Now I'm ready to actually add the hardener.
And now this is a gray hardener, and is it going to darken the color that you have here?
Maybe just a tinge, but not really. So the biggest thing is you do want equal parts of the clay. So you have equal parts hardener and clay. Now the biggest thing is you want to try and mix the hardener. Try to do it more like you're just moving the clay. You don't want to do a lot of this because you're adding friction and heat, and it's the heat that actually cures the clay. So, you know, again, I just really kind of work with it here.
So if you lived in a warmer climate, does that mean that it would harden quicker than like if you lived in Antarctica?
Yeah. So, and with what's great about the epoxy clays is you have about a 3-hour window, so you're not like, I have to do it right away. But it will impact how fast things harden. And with the epoxy clay, the one thing about it is part of the first probably half hour has a real adhesive quality to it, which we are going to use. So it is important that you do some of that stuff too. So, so kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so I've mixed my color. I am now going to go over here and we are going to do a cameo. So now these are already made molds. I used a 2-part mold material and made some found objects, but you can also buy some molds. And you can also, you know, even just if you want just a flat color. So in this case, I do a lot. I'm going to take my gloves off for this, but I like to put a lot of the color actually in the molds. So I have a variety of things here from
just mica powders, which are super cool. I see you have inks. I see you have embossing powder and like all kinds of painty kind of stuff and pigment inks. I mean, like, I think this is the great thing, which is you can take all the stuff that you use for other crafts and art projects and use them here.
So what I'm gonna do is I am just actually gonna use my finger, put some color in.
So I know a little bit from having worked with some things that you put in a mold. Sometimes you need a release agent. Is this ink acting as a release agent?
No, and you don't need it because what's going to happen is this is going to cure to hard finish. So at that point, you are not going, it's just going to pop right out of the mold because the mold itself is silicone. So you never really have to worry about that. So in this case, I put a little bit of color in there, added a little detail, and I'm just going to push the clay in. Then I am going to take the pull.
That's just a commercial drawer pull that you would buy. It comes with hardware, comes with everything you need.
And I'm just going to move it up and around.
Just kind of folding it around there.
And just holding it. And like I said, where this is just a quick sample, so we don't have enough clay on here, I can move some, or I can just, you know, make it look a little more even like that. So the big thing is, then at this point, I'm going to leave this set overnight, and it should harden to a hard finish. So here's one that we did yesterday, and I had it in this mold, so I'm going to take it out of the mold, and this is what we got. So I have some color
beautiful.
Here. It is, but I'm not real happy with it.
Why? It's gorgeous.
I don't know. There's just something about it's not working for me, and that's kind of the risk of putting color in here. So I'm actually going to color it and do something different to it.
Cool.
Because I can. So I'm going to actually, I want to just make it a solid silver.
Oh, so you want to get rid of some of that black. I see. So you're just taking like a silver painty kind of
color
thing.
and just putting it over. And that's the great thing about the epoxy clays. I don't have to just do the color.
Do you always
mixing
use
it.
your fingers, or do you ever use a brush for this kind of stuff? Is there a reason that you would want to use your fingers to like get in the crevices or anything?
I have more control over my fingers. However, definitely use a brush or a little Q-tip, things like that. So it's really how you prefer to work. But in my case, I like my fingers. So this was one that we did, and here's how I've just altered it now. So this was another one that we did yesterday. I had, this is a brown clay that we had pre-mixed. But again, I kind of did
push it into the mold. And this is a commercial mold, obviously.
Push,
Instead of
yep.
being one you made, you can use either. It doesn't matter.
And I really just kind of really pushed it in so that it really filled it and filled it flat. You know, just kind of, now you have my color.
I was going to say, I like actually that it's getting all silver on the back. That's kind of cool.
So, but this is one we did yesterday. So here we did, and that is, so you can see how I had some color in there.
So this is when you were saying the adhesive quality, you didn't need to do anything but stick the drawer pull onto the wet clay, and then when it dried, you were able to pull it out. Now I know we've got this last little trick that you're gonna show us super quick.
Super quick. So super quick is, we are, these are actually just
Texture plates
stamps.
or rubber stamps or anything like that.
I can just add some color. And then what I would do here is do a nice flat piece. Okay, and in this case at home, I would actually put this in the freezer because right now it's really tacky, and if I try to take it out of this, it would be hard.
How long would you put it in the freezer? 15
minutes. So, but I'm gonna use the cookie cutter. Just kind of do the shape.
And when it pops out, I know it's gonna look a little bit like this drawer pull, right? Right there, so beautiful,
Absolutely.
so cool. Thank you, Debbie, this
You're
was
welcome.
great.